Thragg is the main antagonist in Invincible, created by Robert Kirkman. He is the ruthless and immensely powerful Grand Regent of the Viltrumite Empire, a race of near-invincible alien conquerors who seek to dominate other planets. Unlike many Viltrumites, Thragg fully embodies their brutal ideology, valuing strength above all and showing no hesitation in killing even his own kind if they are weak or disloyal. With abilities far surpassing most characters in the series, including Omni-Man and Invincible, he serves as the ultimate threat, representing the peak of Viltrumite power and the harsh, uncompromising nature of the Empire. Let's see how he can achieve his physique, strength, combat style, and athleticism. So first of all, his physique and strength. Thragg is beyond huge. He's on another level of massive. Of course, you will not obtain this much muscle mass naturally, so you have to be on the juice, which I do not recommend for health reasons. There isn't a dominant part, but still we can see that his upper body is a bit bigger than his lower body. Since he can fly, his legs are not that useful, but still, we will give mass too, to avoid the huge amount of imbalance. Strength-wise, it's also impressive. He's got the strength for the muscle mass. I'll even say that he's got more strength than mass. The thing is, realistically, it's impossible for us to achieve this strength even with the juice. So we will focus on mass. The strength will follow along. We will mainly train for isolation. Now the combat style. It is stated that he knows every single combat style, but what we can mainly see is heavy punches. Here's the thing. Since they can fly, the legs aren't a big part of the combat style, so that's why I'll say that his fists are his main weapon. Also, there are many panels I could not show because they are brutal for YouTube, so we will stick with the most chill ones. But in those panels he was impaling opponents and doing things I literally cannot describe here. So to make it accessible to everyone, I'll say that boxing is the main style, since his legs aren't that much utilized. And finally, athleticism. Once again, he is far beyond human limits. Just to give you an example, he fought with whatever animal this was for God knows how many days or months. It was back-to-back brutality, and once again, I would have loved to show you this, but it was gore. To make it simple, we have to max out speed, endurance, explosiveness, and I'll personally add flexibility. I know we didn't see him stretch, but I'll say it like in every video, stretching will give you more range of motion, will prevent injuries, and will help with recovery to some degree. The explosiveness will be trained during the combat training, so practice fast closing in movements and changing directions. In my opinion, with this level of combat skills, training explosiveness and speed while fighting is actually better than training it separately. Now let's see the workout plan. We will do 3 full bodies and 2 days dedicated to boxing. You'll see the following structure: the exercise, the number of sets times the number of reps. Only 1 or 2 working sets because we will work one muscle group multiple times in a week, which is better than annihilating the muscle on one day, and 1 or 2 sets is the maximum amount of load your body could take. Of course, if you are on the juice, it will be easier to recover, but still don't forget that the nervous system recovers more slowly than the muscular system, and it can take up to 72 plus hours to properly recover. So we will not destroy our body in the gym with a ton of sets. The number of reps will sit at 9 to 10 and max. The 9 to 10 rep range will be the best suited for hypertrophy. You'll get the strength needed for progressive overload. And the max will only be for the hollow body hold, since you need to hold the position as much as possible. Also, no more than 3 days at the gym, because with the boxing training, you'll basically have 5 full bodies. 3 intense days at the gym and 2 days boxing training, which can be described as cardio and technique. Okay, let's start with full body 1, squats. Doing squats at the beginning of the workout will give you a testosterone boost for the whole day and for days to come. This will build overall leg strength and vertical pushing strength. Next, weighted chin-ups. Not pull-ups because we need mass in those lats, and chin-ups is in my opinion the best suited for lats mass, with the lat pullovers. Doing weighted chin-ups can damage your biceps and tear them, so be careful while doing them. This will build back width and biceps mass. Next, incline bench press. This will target the upper part of the pecs and bring a nice and round shape to your pecs, making your upper body look bigger. This is also good for pushing strength. If you have a big rib cage, set the bench at an angle of 45 degrees, and if you have a normal rib cage, set it at around 30 degrees. After that, lateral raises. You can either do them with cables or the classic dumbbell lateral raises. This will create the bolder shoulders we want. Next, seated overhead press. I will recommend doing it with dumbbells and at an 80 degrees bench angle. This will create the endurance for your shoulders, punching strength, and of course, bring mass to the shoulders. And finally, cable overhead extension for triceps. I recommend the V-bar or the straight bar, simply because the rope isn't quite the best for triceps mass. This exercise will create biceps mass. Alright, full body 2. Starting strong with Romanian deadlifts. This will build the posterior chain strength, vital for fighting, and will build hamstrings and glutes mass, primarily. The calves and lats will also be triggered, but it's nothing compared to the hams and glutes. Next, we have weighted dips. This will build the lower and middle part of the pecs, giving strength and mass to the pecs, front delts and triceps. If you can do the dips on the rings, it will be better since you need to stabilize yourself. It will create more strength. After that, we have bent over barbell rows. This will create the thickness of the back, and this will help with pulling actions, like bringing your arm back to strike harder. This will bring definition and mass to the upper back. Next, we have once again lateral raises to create the boulder shoulders. Then, reverse flies. You can either do them with cables or on the machine. This exercise will create even more definition in the mid-back, but will primarily target the rear delts, giving the final touch to the boulder shoulders. And finally, incline biceps curls. I recommend that you set up the bench at an angle of 45 degrees to get the sweet spot for contraction and stretch. This exercise will build the biceps thickness we want and need. And last but not least, full body 3, starting with leg extensions. This exercise will build the quads mass and definition we need. If you can lean back a bit to get a better quad stretch, it will be perfect. After that, we have seated leg curls. The seated variation will be the best one if you want mass on the hamstrings. It gives the best stretch and tension. Next, calf raises. This will build mass and strength in the calves, and it can help with explosiveness. After this, we have shrugs. Shrugs will bring this massive look to your upper body and will support your back and arms. Next, we have neck curls. Neck curls are a must because without them, you will not have the neck thickness wanted. Once again, Thragg is massive, so even the neck needs hypertrophy. Be careful here. If your neck isn't warmed up enough, you may hurt yourself. I mean, like every exercise in here. And finally, the hollow body hold. To maintain a good core strength and to prevent injuries, the hollow body hold is golden. Hold the position as much as possible, but don't lift your legs too high. If you lift your legs and hands just 15 centimeters, or in freedom units 6 inches, it is more than perfect. With all of this, there are some things you need to know and apply. Always warm up before an exercise with 2 warm-up sets. Just go light and warm up the muscle gradually. Rest 2 to 3 minutes between every set, and that is even the warm-up sets. Always have a proper execution and don't ego lift. You'll damage your muscles more than anything else. On every workout day, in the morning, do 30 minutes of light cardio. Just get your heart rate moving and steady. Stretch on every rest day for 20 minutes. Once again, this is vital for this type of physique. And another thing that is vital is rest. So please keep the rest days. Do not add any workout or more combat training. Don't even add cardio. Just chill and stretch. You need to understand that with 2 boxing training days, 3 full bodies and morning cardio, your nervous system will fry if you don't let it rest. So give yourself enough sleep, enough rest, and don't smoke or drink alcohol. Indeed, alcohol and smoking are harmful for you as an athlete and will damage your recovery and overall body. And last but not least, try to give at least 1 day off between the workout days. Training for boxing the day after or before a gym session will be hard on your nervous system, but it's still okay compared to 2 days back to back to the gym. So in a week, you'll have to manage 3 workouts and cardio and 2 boxing training. With all of this, you need some serious nutrition. You need to know your BMR and TDEE. And based on this, you need to figure out if you need to be on a bulk, cut or maintenance. Be between 11 and 13% body fat. If you are way above 13% body fat, be on a cut. If you are way under 11% body fat, be on a surplus. And if you are around 11 or 13% body fat, be on a maintenance or a slight surplus to equilibrate with the mass gained. The carbs intake and fat intake depends a lot if you are on a cut, bulk or maintenance. But for the protein intake, try being around your body weight in pounds. So if you are at 170 pounds, have around 170 grams of protein daily. Once again, this is general advice, but if you want, I made 2 videos that talk about nutrition. The first one talks about the basics of nutrition, macronutrients and micronutrients. And the second one talks about the gut-brain axis, the link between the brain and the gastrointestinal tract. And if you want to learn more about your muscular system, check out my video on the subject. And of course, I made other physique videos so that you can get inspired by another physique or make your own based on the models I provide. Ladies and gentlemen, that was everything I had to say. If you enjoyed, let me know it in the comments. If you want to see another physique on here, let me know it in the comments too. And we will meet next time for some other video. And like always, take care.